are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. It is Thursday night. We are here at Goof On, where we have the fun on. And everything's gonna be alright, if it isn't already. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Thursday night. And I forgot to brush the hay. It is September 14th, 2023. Behind me, we are going to be talking about the most important thing in UFO. All right. I exaggerated the title just a wee. But wouldn't it be if this was that important and NASA wanted to be the ones involved? Now they're involved. It's official. They made the announcement for an hour. Bill Nelson is like watching death walking the earth. Oh, we're going to watch it. We're going to have some fun. That had to be one of the most boring news announcements in history of time. Bill Nelson is so bad. He sounds like, well, you'll hear it. If boredom had a face, an example of what boredom is, it would have his face in the dictionary. God, it was awful. It was so bad. But they said some nice things, and, we'll focus on the nice things. I think there was one of them. One nice thing. We'll also talk about some other things in the ufological world. So, hang tight, everybody. See some new folks, new faces, new profile pics. Glad you could make it here to GoofOn tonight. GoofOn stands for Greatest UFO Network, or the original meaning, Giordano's. My last name, UFO Network. I like to think we're the greatest, but we're not such a huge network. Hey, we're always networking out. Nobody wants to connect with GoofOn. Oh, chicken. Oh, that's right. I was going to fix the audio because it kept cutting out. Hold on. Do not turn this off unless you have a high-quality microphone and are wearing headphones or don't have any guests. This setting enables audio processing features like echo cancellation, noise suppression, and auto gain control. No. Stereo audio. This is often used by musicians with the stereo audio input mic. Echo cancellation must be turned off for this to work properly. Huh. Guys, last night's show sucked so much. Let me take that back. It was a good show, but the sound quality sucked so much. And I know it's because of the stereo audio thing they have here. I'm going to turn it on. Am I cutting in and out? No, I forgot to do it today. I fell asleep. Yeah. Well, I didn't sleep all night. Well, anyway, it's my problem. So, okay, so I'm not... Sounds good. Okay, so we're going to leave it for now. I'm going to take your word for it. I moved the microphone about a foot closer to me, and I think that'll help. People used to complain that I used to be too loud, but I think I lowered the gain enough. I think we'll be okay. It always happens when I slip in like, hey, everybody, and then when I talk like this, so, it's, and it cuts out right there because it can't pick up my voice with the microphone another foot away, but maybe it can pick it up now. All right, everything sound okay? Even when I talk softly? All right. Let's get some roll calls started. Nobody's answered. I know, it's a 20-second delay. I still don't see everybody saying hello to everybody still. Well. Isn't this the angel of GoofOn? There she is. Jeanette, welcome to the show with the £5, 5 quid super sticker. Jeanette, thank you for being an everyday supporter, pretty much. Well, it is. You are. And I thank you for that. I know you're going to turn red, but I have to thank you extra once in a while. Thank you very much, Jeanette, for being the angel of GoofOn. Well, your name's Angel, so it worked out. Thank you very much. You too can also help support GoofOn, just like Jeanette Angel did, the angel of GoofOn. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App, all the links are in the show description. Even on the About page of GoofOn, the home page of GoofOn on YouTube. You know what to do. You're already doing it. That's for the newcomers. We're supported by you. Everything goes back into the show. It has to. We wouldn't be here. Thank you. Jeanette. Thank you. Sapphire Elf, welcome to the show. Intergalactic Angler, welcome to the show. Samo, how you doing, Chief? Welcome to the show. Zach Diecast Montu, welcome to the show. Garnundrum. David, how you doing? I just logged off work and logged on to GoofOn. That's what I'm talking about. The 9-to-5ers are rolling in here on after work. I was going to say on that side of the world. I'm glad to see. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to know you. David wrote. David Wilcox, not Wilcock, and everybody stop. There's no cock in David Wilcox. Welcome to the show. It's true. There we go. Oh, Lisa Brittany. Howdy do. Welcome to see you. The show said hello. Sithemi. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Stu Gerson. You think I forgot about the mighty Stu Gerson? Good to see you, Chief. Nice to have you here. YOY Files, I almost said. I did. YOY Fools, welcome to the show. Brian Yates, what do you say, my man? How you doing? Good to see you. Ben, the Yorkshire Goofonian here with the £2 2 super dono. That's right, a dono. A DONO, a donation with no super sticker or super comment. It's pure love. Unadulterated joy and love. We're masculine in our femininities. I don't know what the hell I just said. But I'm gathering up some ammo for tonight's show. When I say ammo, I mean ammo. You know, I've come to the realization now that I'm never going to stop smoking weed. I've only been doing it since I was 21. It hasn't been my whole life. Matter of fact, I didn't try any drugs till I was 21. That's right. Somebody slipped me a Mickey once. I've experienced nothing of the drug kind in this world, just marijuana. I'm allergic to mushrooms, so I never tried mushrooms. Somebody gave them to me once, but they never worked. I don't know what I was eating. But it was chewy. Hey, Ben, thank you very much for being a continuing supporter of the GoofOn. Mucho gusto generoso. I start going off on these tangents. Next thing you know, boom, show's over. 12 feet tall, how you doing? Hey, Alan Cantrell, good to see you. It is almost 4:20. It really is. There it is. All right. So now that it's 4:20, this is new to the show. It's Pacific time, 4:20. Everybody smokes? We smoke. Alan, welcome to GoofOn. Everybody, if I didn't say your name doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got to smoke some weed. What do you say, Greg? Moody Mongol, everybody. Moonlicht, welcome to the Brookes. What do you say there? Stavro, welcome to the show. All right, I am getting my... And we are going to go dark. I need some music for this. Can we have a little bit of smoke music or something to get us going here? Oh, nice. All right, everybody. It's time to grab your thing and smoke it. In 3, 2, 1, light. more. Light them up. It's 420 East, West Coast. As the smoke clears, we now begin tonight's program with your host, me, Rich Giordano. All right. Is that the end of the song? As we start tonight's show, I want to thank everybody one more time for hanging out here at Goof On. At 7:20 Eastern, it's 4:20 Pacific. We will now start that new thing here at Goof On when it's 20 after the hour. At 7:20 here, it's 4:20 somewhere. We will take advantage of that next hour. Sorry. That was fun. Shall we begin? All right. I want to start with what's her name? Well, former NASA employee Donna Hare says we have a lot of high resolution photos of UFOs or alien spaceships, and I can testify before Congress. We didn't see her today, did we? You know, I wanted to go live during that thing today. I didn't even know it was on. Hold on. That's very, very strange what just happened. Hey, there was a pre-show, which I'm stopping it now because it was for the show. It was for before the show. I don't know why that's showing up on here. What the hell's happening? Why don't we just give them, my address while we're at it? How did that happen? That's twice. I couldn't stop it from popping up. I almost did it when I was pulling up the video. It pulled up another screen. It's as if the StreamYard has a mind of its own. I'm gonna try this again. That should have never been out there. I mean, not that I'm worried or anything. It is what it is. Here we go again. It's doing it again. It's not. I click on the screen I want to show you. It's picking up another screen, another tab. Yeah. Oh, this is bizarre. This is a first. So I have to go 4 down. Let me try this. Yep. If I go 4 down from the top of the order of videos that I get a list of, everything that I want to share shows all the tabs I have open show up. So I get to choose one that I want to show you, right? So there's a list and it looks like it starts on left, right screen all the way to right screen, right, left screen. I have to go 4 down from the top to get to the video that's usually at the top. This is bizarre. That's just bizarre. It's not even matching. The name Vicky Verma is what I want. And I have to click on channel dashboard, which is why you saw what you saw. You saw the dashboard for GoofOn. No big deal. I don't care. You see my stats. Oh, the stats. This is bizarre. All right. Well, I figured it out for now. Holy mackerel. Well, this is Donna Hare. This is in 2001. We're just going back a little bit because we want to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, right? I want to see if what they said in the past holds up today to what they're saying. And the answer is, yeah, it holds up. But you know what Bill said? Bill Nelson said, anything that shows up in NASA, anything, they're going to be 100% transparent. Does anyone believe that?
Philco Ford Aerospace for...
come on.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Donna Hare,
Hi,
and
Donna.
I worked at Philco Ford Aerospace from 1967 to 1981. During that time, I was a design illustrator, draftsman. I did the launch slides and landing slides, and also projection plotting boards, lunar maps for NASA. We were a contractor, but most of the time I worked on site, in Building 8.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to do extra work during downtime, which was between missions, and I walked into a photo lab, which was the NASA lab across the hallway. I had a secret clearance, which is not that high, but I was able to go into restricted areas, which this was. At the time, I was talking to one of the techs in there, and he drew my attention to a photograph, a NASA photograph. It had a dot on it, and I said, what is that? Well, he drew my attention to it, and I said, is that a dot on the emulsion? And he said, and he's smiling, and he has his hands crossed, and he said, round dots on the emulsion don't leave round shadows on the ground. And this was an aerial photograph of the...
Amazing. Amazing. Hey, why is that so low? So we're hearing, everybody knows this story. You've heard it 100 times if you're a ufologian. If you're into the field. This is a very well-known story amongst us. I believe her. 1,000,000%. This woman, to me, is telling the truth. How often do I say that?
Earth, I'm assuming the Earth, because it had pine trees on it, and the shadows of...
I'm just thinking about that. I'm assuming it's the Earth because it had pine trees.
Of the craft, or whatever it was, were in the same angle as the trees. And by its very nature, UFO, and I wanted to clarify that to a gentleman that was talking to me, means unidentified. So I did not know what this was. But I realized at this point that it's very secret, that it was kept secret, because I asked him, what are you going to do with this piece of information? And he said, we always airbrush these out before we sell them to the public. So they're pesky little creatures appearing on this photograph they wanted to get rid of. After that, I decided I would ask questions to other people.
Pesky little creatures? Why? Why don't we have disclosure by now? Right? I know this was behind closed doors in a dark room with a photographer. Check.
That worked there. And I found that I had to ask them away from the site and not on site. A guard told me that he was asked to burn some photographs.
All right. So that, I'm glad they left that, hey, that little section in. A guard was asked to burn photographs. Do you believe for one cotton picking minute during this entire time they've been doing it that nobody took a picture, cut a picture, took the pictures they were told to burn. You don't think anybody stole any of those, put them in their sock, cut one out, put it in their bill, their hat, or you don't think somebody snuck those out, kept one or two over the years? Of course they did. This is the stuff that will be coming out over the next 5 years, I bet. See, a lot of the people that hid all this stuff or have it in wills or do not open to when I'm dead, all those people are passing off right now. They're just visiting God. And we're going to get to see someday their family members talk about, hey, Uncle Rich left us, I don't know what it was doing in the walls of the house, but left us a couple hundred videos here and all these notebooks. We didn't know they were behind the wall in a secret room until we wanted to expand on the house, and there it was. Next thing you know, the family has a new house. It's just they've been replaced with a government family. Nah. There's so much corruption. NASA today is just like boring. You're going to see it was so bad. You know what? We're going to bring it up now. What, do I have anything else to show you? Oh, man, I'm bad. Oh, wow, I am bad. I'm sorry, everybody, I did this to you. My fault. My fault I did this.
I'm not a UFO guy, not a ufologist. I never have been, I never will be. I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I just do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO.
Reminder, that's what we do. We remind you that Lou Elizondo failed you, lied to you, and lied to you. He played Mr. Nice Guy. I'm your friend for life because we're both military. He used all of you. All of the military people should be so angry at Lou Elizondo. Like, beyond angry. No, not us. We're family. We understand. See, we speak a different language than you civilians. See, we understand Lou. We are Lou. We get Lou. Well, then that's a horrible way to live. If you understand that making sock accounts and harassing people that don't agree with them, yeah, it's espionage, Rich. He's a what do they call it? Counterintelligence. He applied his skills into the UFO community. I heard it himself. I love you guys. Tomorrow, you guys will be able to talk about it right here on Goof On. We open up the lines again tomorrow. We're back in business every Friday. It was working pretty well, I thought. It was working pretty well. So we're going to bring that back. We take a few weeks off of doing it, and now we get you back on because some more shit has happened for the next, I don't know. We'll keep doing it until we don't do it anymore. That's tomorrow's show. Saturday, I already set up the show, and it is subject to change at any time because ufology is so slow with news. Something may pop up tomorrow or the next day, and then I'll change Saturday show. What if Saturday show? The roles what if the woes were reversed? What if the roles were reversed and we went to a planet and started zipping around their skies? Let's just say they don't have any defense because they're not that way. They would look at us like aliens and they would have reports. See how hard that would just for that to happen. It can't happen. It won't ever happen. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I did a hypothetical show. What if roles were reversed and we were the aliens? Ooh, what a topic. I can't wait to think about that one. I don't know. That's why it's subject to change. All right, let's get to work. Me, you. I do want to play something real quick, though. James Fox, who is a movie director for UFOs, the phenomenon, and I Know What I Saw, and It Gave Us a Chill, whatever that movie was. This guy can't suck more ass at brown. I mean, he is the biggest brown-nosing kiss-up in ufology right now. He is putting Jeremy Corbell to shame. I think this is the video where he sucks up to David Grush. Is this the one with... There's one video where James Fox is... I don't know, is this it? Hold on. Where he keeps calling Schumer, what's his name, Schumer? Mike Schumer? The representative or Congress guy or whatever. He keeps calling him leader. Leader Schumer. Leader Schumer. Ugh. You sound like you're a freaking first grader asking if you could use the hall pass to go to the bathroom. Mrs. Leader Schumer, may I use the hall pass, please, to go to the bathroom? Miss Schumer. I don't know why I used his name. I don't know. Leader Schumer. Leader Schumer, please, may I go to the bathroom? Can I use the hall pass? Leader Schumer? Ugh. Suck up. Oh, I gotta play this just because I'm irritated. I wish I had that video. Oh, gotta be careful. Hey, it's working. It's back to working. Let's see if this is it.
Leader Shermer? Leader Shermer. I worked with Senator Harry.
Is it Schumer or Shermer? It's Schumer, right? It is Schumer. Here it is. Did he call him Shermer? No wonder why he didn't answer. Here, listen.
Leader Shermer? Leader
There
Shermer.
is no Shermer. It's Schumer. You reject. Leader Shermer. Leader. He even gets the name wrong, like a first grader needing to use the bathroom. I don't know my teacher's last name. I can't pronounce it because I got a hair.
I worked with Senator Harry Reid. I'm wondering if there's anything that you're doing to verify the claims of David Grush, sir?
Leader Schumer.
Leader Shermer. Leader Shermer. I worked with.
Ugh. I didn't realize how much of a pansy James Fox is. Sorry. Leader Shermer. Ugh, I can still hear it. It bothers me. I'm sorry, it bothers me. I thought that was a different clip. I'm glad it was that one, though. What do you think about David Grush? Do you believe what he's saying? Leader Shermer. Leader. All right, first off, here's the NASA news conference. We're starting with it now. I can't get it out of my head. We're going to start off with this lady's face. With this lady's face, I said. With this lady's face. Leader Shermer. Not the happiest looking face. Doesn't want to talk about it. Already annoyed that we're talking about UAPFO. Are you ready? I'm telling you, you might have to turn up the volume just a little bit. Yeah, I have no control on StreamYard. If we were using OBS, I'd be able to adjust it, but I can't. And the volume is low. Not quiet, low. So I will mute my button to make it just, I don't know if you can hear the fan in the background, but here we go. I told you, you can't hear shit.
4 speakers here today. We have Bill Nelson, our NASA administrator, Nikki Fox, the Associate Administrator for the Science Mission Directorate, Dan Evans, the Assistant Deputy Associate Administrator for Research within the Science Mission Directorate, and David Spergel, who is the President.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Every one of their names can be turned into a porno name. Bill Nelson, right? Could be the Big Apple. This lady's name alone is a porno name. Don't ask me how I would know that, but every one of their names, I can't. Let's just move on. It just hit me that way. But the volume's low. I can't control it. It will go up and down according to how close they get to the microphone.
Of the Simons Foundation, and was also the
Oh my God, the guy on the end does look like a Klingon. Are we looking? Is this one of the council meetings? Is this the island of Troy? Look at Bill Nelson. You know, if I was 114 years younger, I'd be 88.
The chair of this particular independent study team. I will ask everybody in the room to please silence your cell phones. We will get started with everybody giving a few opening remarks, and then
God, look at the ego on this guy. He doesn't even want to wait for her to introduce him. This bothered me when I watched it. I don't know why, but it's wrong. Hey, thank you, Karen. My name is Joyce. Right, Karen, thank you very much. I'm Bill Apple.
then we will take questions. We will take questions both in the room
I'll try not
and
to interrupt.
then from the phones. And for now, I will hand it over to the administrator.
Thank you, Janet. It's Karen. What? So tomorrow you will have a chance to talk about this. We'll go over everything tomorrow with you if you want to talk about this for tomorrow's show. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play, pause, comment, play, pause, comment. We'll be here the rest of the night. Enjoy yourselves. I hope you do. I know you got to turn the volume low when you get to me. I'm going to try to remain conscious about that and try not to talk so loud when I come back. But I'm sorry, I can't turn up the volume. Here we go.
Thanks so much, and thanks for coming today. NASA searches for the unknown in air and space. It's in our DNA. From digging on Mars with the Perseverance rover in those little titanium tubes that we intend to go back and pick up, digging in a dry lake bed near the mouth of a river. Now we're going up to the top of the cliff where the scientists feel that there could be the best examples of if there were life there millions of years ago. Whether we're dealing with Perseverance or the James Webb Space Telescope, which searches for exoplanets with signs of habitability.
And people that look like me.
We are looking for signs of life.
So are you.
Present. And it's in our DNA to explore. Sorry. And to ask why things are the way they are. Because you lie. In June of last year, NASA commissioned an independent study team to examine unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Joy.
We did so with a few goals in mind.
To not tell anybody.
First, to examine how NASA can use our expertise and instruments to study UAP from a scientific perspective. Second, shift the conversation about UAP from sensationalism to science. and to make sure that whatever we find or whatever we recommend, to make sure that information is shared transparently around the world. There's a global fascination with UAP. On my travels, one of the first questions I often get is,
how old are you?
These sightings. And much of that fascination is due to the unknown nature of it. Think about it. Most UAP sightings result in very limited data. That makes it even more difficult to draw scientific conclusions about the nature of UAP. And so this independent study team brought together some of the world's leading scientists, data, and artificial intelligence experts, aerospace safety specialists, all with a specific charge from me, which is to tell how to apply the full focus of science and data to UAP. And this is the first time that NASA has taken concrete action to seriously look into UAP. And this independent study team was just that, independent. Now, NASA has a statutory authority to look for life in the universe. And when you think of the universe, and especially what we have learned from the James Webb Space Telescope, how vast that it is. We knew before, and it was a NASA scientist, Dr. John Mather, who got the Nobel that determined that the universe was 13.8 billion years old. And over the years, particularly accelerated in the last century, we have an understanding that, of course, ours is not the only galaxy. And there are billions and billions of galaxies, and each of those galaxies, including our own, have billions and billions of stars. And with the James Webb looking at the exoplanets, we are now beginning to discover, and somewhere out there, we will discover another medium-sized stony planet around a medium-sized sun or star.
I'm embarrassed by that last statement. We're going to look for medium-sized this and medium-sized that, because that's what we understand in our solar system provided life, us, everything else that we see here on the blue marble. That's a rather, wow, I'm going to say, if he means it, it's naive. He's being naive that you can't have a large sun on a large Earth-like planet that's in the Goldilocks zone. That's what he should be saying. We're trying to look for planets that have water and oxygen and nitrogen and they're in the Goldilocks zone. It doesn't matter what size the planet is, the sun is, as long as it's got the elements we need. And by the way, they need to be exactly like they are on Earth, which, even if it's off just a little bit, would create havoc with our bodies. See, I don't think I'm wrong on that. I feel like I'm saying the right thing. But NASA, this guy's, he's creepily smiling like he's giving a sermon. Now, I appreciate that he's not reading this part. It shows he knows what he wants to say. He studied a little bit about what he wants to talk about. And I appreciate the free flow. But tell us what you're going to do. They do. They will. He will. They tell us everything. So here we go.
Star just the right distance, not too.
Can you believe me? As soon as I press play, it goes back, and now he's describing exactly what I said he should have said and didn't say. That is so effing funny what just happened right there. You see, I didn't how'd I plan? I didn't watch it yet. That's unbelievable to me that would happen. I even paused it perfectly. No, I didn't plan it. That is so funny to me. All right, let's listen to him make. He's going to put me to shame now. That's amazing. Go.
Too far, not too close, with a tilt in its axis that rotates, that has carbon, that will have a habitable atmosphere.
Wait, why does it have to have a tilt? That tilt shouldn't even be on the Earth. You mean to tell me now we got to look for planets that have been banged while they were being created? That doesn't make sense to me. All right.
If you ask me, do I believe there's life in a universe that is so vast that it's hard for me to comprehend how big it is? My personal answer is yes. But I asked some of our scientists. As a matter of fact, the Washington Post editorial board asked us to come down to the question, what is the mathematical probability that there is life out there in the universe?
No.
And if you calculate in billions of stars, in billions of galaxies, that there's replicated what I just said, another stony planet. The answer was, what's the likelihood? At least 1 trillion. That's from our scientist. So we start.
I feel like this. 1 trillion what? 1 trillion and one? 1 trillion planets like ours? 1 trillion galaxies? What are you talking about? See, this is why the retirement age is at 65, not 165.
This.
I know it doesn't apply to everybody, but it should be. Everybody should stop working at 65 and get the hell out of here. Just do your thing. I'm not saying you can't be productive and work. You just can't be speaking anymore. All right, go.
Without any preconceived notions.
I'll be there. I'm already there.
Understanding that we're in a world of discovery. And we, NASA, have taken for the first time concrete action to seriously look into UAP. And this independent study team is exactly that. It's independent. They work to develop recommendations about how NASA could better examine them from a scientific perspective.
They're independent, but paid by NASA? Who's paying them? How are they getting funded? I will look into that. I'll find out.
And the top takeaway from...
Because it matters. If NASA's not footing the bill for the third party, and somebody else is, but I got to know who it is.
From the study is that there is a lot more to learn. The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin.
Bastards.
But we don't know what these UAP are. That's why I'm announcing that NASA has appointed a NASA director of UAP research. They are being tasked with developing and overseeing the implementation of NASA's vision for UAP research. We will use NASA's expertise to work with other agencies to analyze UAP. We will use AI and machine learning to search the skies for anomalies, as we have been searching the heavens and will continue to search the heavens for habitability. And NASA will do this transparently. So while today is a significant step for NASA,
At the end of this, they do have a question and answer with the reporters, so it's actually pretty cool. He just said it. NASA's going to give full transparency, right? 10 seconds.
and will continue to search the heavens for habitability.
Blah, blah.
And NASA will do this transparently.
And he pointed at us. Capiche? Oh, it's a one capiche show. Sorry about that.
So while today is a significant step for NASA, it's certainly not our final step. And we're going to share more with you, and I want to introduce you to Dr. Nikki Fox, who is the head of our Science Mission Directorate. Nikki.
Nikki Fox, everybody. You know her in her first adult film, NASA Goes to Space.
And thank you so much, Administrator Nelson. It's always tough to follow Bill. He's such a great speaker. But I want to thank the independent...
hey, what the frig, man? God, I clicked this, a loop. Anyway, what's her name? Nicola Fox. Nikki Fox, he called her. What am I doing? All right. All right. Now, you know, everything's just out of... It got louder, is what I wanted to say. So, enjoy.
Study team for their amazing service on the study and for their continued contributions towards the advancement of our nation's understanding of unidentified anomalous phenomena. UAP, as Bill just eloquently said, UAP are one of our planet's greatest mysteries, and it's really due to the limited number of high-quality data that surrounds such incidents and often renders them unidentifiable. While there are numerous eyewitness accounts and visuals associated with UAP, they're not consistent, they're not detailed, and they're not curated observations that can be used to make definitive scientific conclusions about the nature and the origin of UAP. The language of scientists is data, and data points towards a scientific conclusion to what the nature and the origin of UAP could be. That leads us to why we're here today. The independent study team's report is now public, and it can be found at science.nasa.gov/UAP. While NASA is still working to evaluate the report and to assess the independent study team's findings and recommendations, NASA is committed to immediately contributing to the federal government's unified UAP effort, and as you heard, we have appointed a director of UAP research. In their role, they will centralize communications, resources, and data analytical capabilities across the federal government to establish a robust database for the evaluation of any future data. Additionally, our Director of UAP Research will also leverage NASA's expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and space-based observation tools that will support and enhance the broader government initiative into UAP. They will serve as NASA's point of contact for government entities, but especially for the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or ARROW. And this will ensure our coordinated efforts and effective communication channels. Beyond our Director of UAP Research, NASA will also advance citizen reporting by working with the public and commercial pilots to collect a broader set of data to add to the vast data repositories to not only contribute to a broader, more reliable data set for future UAP incidents, but to also contribute to the destigmatization of the important study of UAPs.
Wow. Hey. Wow. They're going to include the public, as you heard, and they're also going to include commercial pilots. You know, they want it all. They want it all. Well, this is weird. Well, I'm really happy that they do wanna take that they want to take the initiative for the public. Also, she said that they want to destigmatize. How? The destigmatization is the way you handle it, not the way they handle it. So let's see how now. I'm going to bet you this. We should test them. We should test them, I said. I should take one of my sightings, send it to them, and see if it goes transparent public. Or you guys do it. One of you do it. But it's got to be a good sighting. It can't just be a dot in the sky. My dots do things, though. So I'm very interested in hearing this. I got a... I didn't see the message come in. I just checked because we've had issues with PayPal not notifying their customers about donations when they come in. I'm supposed to get an email notification, any activity that happens on PayPal is what I'm saying. So I didn't get anything, but I checked and I see a Harold. I won't say your last name. It looks like you sent $5 and your funny comment is for your next inhaler. Either way, that's funny. So thank you, Harold, for contributing in GoofOn for $5, man. That's awesome. And you use PayPal preferred. So thank you for that. And I know that that's your first to GoofOn too. So, oh, Harold, you're stuck in the family now. Sorry, bro. You can't leave. Ever. Well, David Wilcox sent in $20 as well on PayPal. He already knows he's not going anywhere. Nobody leaves. Thank you, David Wilcox, not Wilcock, for the $20 on PayPal, my friend. Thank you very much for being a continuing supporter of GoofOn and part of the family. You can't leave. All right. Thank you guys very much. Let's continue with this. And the reason I interrupted for that is because I interrupt for super chats and PayPal-ese. You always have to say thank you when you just can't wait to the end of the show. I know other shows do that, and then all the PayPals and the supers, they become irrelevant. Sometimes there's messages that have to be, for the show. I'm sorry, guys. It's the way GoofOn does it. Let's continue. So she just said that they're going to be transparent, help the public, and get rid of stigmatization of UFO. Ready?
And with that, it is my great pleasure to hand over to Dr. Dan Evans, who is the NASA official responsible for supporting this amazing study.
Good morning. I'd like to begin by expressing my sincere thanks to NASA Administrator Bill Nelson for directing this study. We at NASA believe that understanding UAP is vital for several reasons. First and foremost, it provides an opportunity for us to expand our understanding of the world around us. At NASA, we are committed to charting the uncharted, so this work aligns with who we are. Secondly, this...
Hold on. He said we're going to get a better understanding of our surroundings, basically. Well, look, you've been around for almost 60 years. What? Don't you know anything? Chief? How long have they been around? 70 years? No, 60 years, I thought. I don't know. But nonetheless, I thought that was a weird statement. But I understand how he wanted it to be received. I'm just weird the way I think. I would think that him saying having a better understanding of our surroundings, meaning having a better understanding of what's out around us in space, right? That's what he meant. But shouldn't they already have that understanding? That's my point. How are they going to get a better understanding? Well, it happens every day with the James Webb Telescope. I don't see how NASA is going to make things better by being a part of the UAP. I think we've got an issue here. This is becoming a problem for ufology. Now, look, I don't know if I like this at all anymore. You know, have you ever heard the term, too many cooks in the kitchen? I kind of feel like we're being overrun by people who want to say they want to search around look for the clues and shit, right? Look for the evidence. But yet, I don't trust their transparency comments. Because we've been lied to so much by those people that are promising transparency. So I think it's kind of funny, ironic, hypocritical. It's everything rolled up into one. I'm a little concerned. A little bit.
The study aims to enhance situational awareness. The presence of UAP raises serious concerns about the safety of our skies, and it's this nation's obligation to determine whether these phenomena pose any potential risks to airspace safety. Let's not forget that the first A in NASA is aeronautics. So by understanding the nature of UAP, we can ensure that our skies remain a safe space for all. Administrator Nelson directed us to put together...
There it is, your threat. He threw it in without saying it. Got it? We're going to make everything in our airspace safe and around the globe. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant around the perimeter of the Earth. Near Earth orbit. Everything outside of Earth. Okay, there you go. What's going on here now?
Together, an independent and external team of world...
Hold on. Let's go back.
We can ensure that our skies remain a safe space for all.
Right.
Administrator Nelson directed us to put together an independent and external team of world-leading experts to produce a report containing a roadmap with a series of recommendations that describe how NASA could best help in the cross-government response to UAP. Months of meticulous fact-finding, cross-disciplinary collaboration, and scientific rigor gave the team insights that will greatly enhance our nation's understanding of UAP going forward. The team's report, now available on NASA's website, stands as a testament to NASA's and the team's commitment to transparency, to the power of science, and to the unwavering quest for knowledge. We at NASA believe that studying UAP represents an exciting step forward in our journey to uncover the mysteries of the world around us. By embracing a scientific lens, We have ensured that our work is evidence-based and data-driven. And by valuing transparency and openness, we have aimed to foster trust and collaboration with the public.
Did you see that? Did you catch it? Did you see him look directly into the camera for the first time he's speaking when it had to do with transparency in the public? This is such horse shit. You see, these are the things that tell me they're selling us a bunch of bullshit. It's almost as if he looked into the camera while he's saying he's going to be transparent, knowing they're not going to be transparent. That's usually what that look means. It's the truth and a lie at the same time. It's an amazing thing he just did there. It's very well known in the lie community. This tactic here, listen, it takes about 15 seconds to get there, but take a listen, watch him look at the camera, listen to how and when he says it. When he looks at the camera, he says this.
Openness. We have aimed to foster trust and collaboration with the public.
We have aimed to foster trust and something else with the public. I can't remember. Unbelievable. It's the only time he looked at the camera so far. Wow. This is he really knows how to manipulate the people he's talking to. That showed me that he's conscious of his movements, his eyes, how he makes his face work. He's really conscious of everything right now. That's right. The watchers watching the watchers. This is a show. Boring, but it is a show.
I'd like to conclude by extending my deepest gratitude to the team for their incredible dedication and service.
Oh, he did that right.
Their
Oh,
efforts
wow.
have been instrumental.
Look at him. Look
And
at the
I truly
camera.
appreciate the expertise and commitment that each of them have brought to this endeavor. And with that, I'll pass over to Dr. David.
That's wow. He also looked at the camera when he said that. Ooh. Wow. Well, I don't know what it means. I can only assume. So it either means he's looking people in the eye as he's saying something very, very heartwarming about trusting, the people he's going to work with. That could be it. Making eye contact when they're not there. So when they watch it, they see he's looking right at them. It gives them a sense of trust. Yeah. Just look at the red light on the top of the camera. That's the one that's on. All right, who's next? Is this the Klingon? Look at the guy hasn't moved. He hasn't moved and he only has 2 fingers.
David Spergel, who chaired our study.
Bista Batushka!
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to the NASA administrator.
Wow, that translator really sounds like a human voice. That's an ugly shirt tie, and that's a terrible collaboration right there. I'm afraid he chose that outfit today. Man, learn how to tie a tie too, dude. What kind of freaking Windsor knot is that? Nah.
For entrusting us with this pivotal study.
It's David Spoogel, David Spergel, gel, like, when he had hair, you put it in it. It's hard to see what's down here, but it says, I don't know what it says. Chair of the UAP Independent Study Team. I can't figure out what it says down here. I could read the other ones, but this one's a tough one for me. And, all right, let's listen to what David Spoogel has to say.
Your faith in our capabilities has been a driving force behind the panel's approach. The panel's comprehensive study into unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, has led to several crucial findings, and I'd like to elucidate on our methodology and those findings this morning. We began by rigorously assessing the current state of UAP data. Our goal was not to repeat the work of the Arrow.
All right, I have something I have to say real quick. Tell me, who thinks as of this moment that he did not write what he's saying? That guy did not write that speech. That's why his head was down the whole time. He was reading it over and over and over while he was sitting there because he wanted to make sure he read it as if he wrote it. Already, it's odd. It's as if he didn't read this or write it. So let's see if that holds up. It just looks that way to me. All right, here we go.
But to understand the nature of the reports. Our goal was to produce a roadmap for NASA to contribute to the understanding of the nature of UAP events. We looked at NASA's assets. While they provide a comprehensive picture of the ocean, the Earth's surface and atmosphere for studying our evolving planet, they typically do not have the resolution needed for UAP events. However, by providing data on environmental conditions, they can complement other data on UAP. The current approach to UAP data collection has led to a limited sample of events and limited data. STIGMA has limited reporting by pilots, both civilian and military, so we know there's missing data. For its analysis in other areas, NASA always takes a scientific approach of systematic data collection that involves calibrating instruments, multiple measurements, and ensuring sensor metadata. Most UAP events lack this quality of data. One of NASA's contribution to the broader governmental effort to bring these methodologies to create a data set is to bring these methodologies to create a data set that's both reliable and extensive.
See what I mean? Like the way he read that, it's as if he didn't know where the sentence would continue or end. It's very.
And once we have a large sample of well-characterized events,
terrible.
AI and ML tools, which are proving to be powerful in so many other applications, will likely prove helpful in identifying interesting anomalies. It is essential to clarify, based on our current findings and methodology, that we find no evidence to suggest that UAP are extraterrestrial in origin. Our focus is on understanding the phenomenon, however, regardless of the source. And previous work from the Arrow has shown that most events are explainable as planes, balloons, drones, weather phenomenon, and instrument features.
You know, he keeps looking up as if he thinks we need to see him make eye contact with us. You know, he knows he's looking down for a long period of time. So he looks up. Everybody's still here. Okay, when we come down, still here. Okay. I just spurgled all over myself.
And in any search for interesting anomalies, the first step is to eliminate the chaff of conventional events before moving on to identify novel phenomena. In this, the public's role cannot be overstated. The panel envisioned a framework that leverages crowdsourcing, possibly via smartphone applications, to capture a broader spectrum of data, ensuring more eyes and ears on the ground.
I know it's 4:20 somewhere. I forgot we were going to do that. We'll just do it once a show at the 7:20 mark, okay? All right, continue with the Kroll over here. What is it? Oh, Klingon. The Klingons here.
Lastly, we delved into the safety concerns UAP present within U.S. airspace.
The threat.
By integrating UAP collection within our current aviation reporting system, The panel believes we can provide insights into potential safety risks. NASA can reduce the stigma associated with pilots reporting anomalies. And fundamentally, by studying events we don't understand, we advance our understanding. So in conclusion, with a rigorous methodology, collaborative efforts, public engagement, NASA can be a key player in the whole of government approach to understanding UAP. Thank you.
He didn't even know when it was going to end. And our approach was UAP. Thank you. So that's the kind of effort we expect from that guy, who didn't even have time to write his own script. What he needed to say was written by someone else for him. It's so obvious. I've read scripts before, and I've read a lot of stuff in front of a lot of different crowds. That was not his own script. Anyway, which really? They're doing the news conference here. And this is the first time I've seen these people other than Bill Nelson. I've heard of their names. But first impressions, if this is what you're giving the Americans, the world, the public, if this is supposed to be helpful and they can't even write their own script for 5 minutes telling us why they're there and what their inclusion into this is going to be about, you need to do something else. It's almost as if this guy was told, this is what you're doing. Only the lady, that woman, seemed like she wanted to be there. All three of the guys, two gentlemen and Bill Nelson. Well, Bill Nelson loves hearing himself talk, but he didn't want to be there. He just took some Geritol. It was late morning when it kicks in, and then they nap in the afternoon, and then it's dinner time at 4. Oh, I know the schedule. My parents are on it. And so is my uncle. So I know, at this time it was 10:30 in the morning. Bill had a poop. And I'm pretty sure we just heard a bunch of poop. All right, we got to continue on. I was going to say something else and then I forgot. Let's see where they go.
Thank you so much to all of our speakers. We will start taking questions.
Oh, that was
for those.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. This is where the good stuff starts. I didn't realize it was so soon.
In the room, we have a microphone over here that we would ask you to speak into. We will also be alternating with questions from those on the phone line. For those of you who are in the phone line, please press *1
take deep
to get
breaths.
onto the queue. We will try to answer as many as we can today. We'll see how it goes. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. This is directed to Mr. Nelson. Thank you for being here. 2 quick questions.
Leader Nelson? Can I speak to Leader Nelson? President Nelson? The head of NASA Nelson? Can I speak to the leader Nelson, please? I used to respect this man to the highest degree. No more. He sold out, and that's sad to me. I'm sad by it now. I'm mad. Sad and mad at the same time is not good for me.
One is, how can we make the determination of what something isn't when we don't know what it is? And B, after a careful review of the data.
How can we tell what something isn't if we don't know what it is? Oh my God. That is Really, that's like a first grader asking a question. That question does not belong. Who cares about that? That has nothing to do with anything. It's easy to tell us what something isn't, even if we don't know what it is. I do it all the time. We have to. Because we can never truly know what these objects are until they land and let us touch, taste, and field test them, right? So with that being said, what James Fox doesn't understand is because he's not a boots on the ground investigator, he's a researcher for documentaries to make money. When you get down to it, Jimmy, I don't know how to word it. I don't know. He's just silly. Like, I could tell something's not a plane, but not knowing what it is because it's an orb. You know what I mean? You can tell what something isn't. You don't have to know what it is to know what it isn't. Right? I know that's not a human, but I can tell you it might be an airplane, but I don't know. But I definitely know it's not humans because humans don't glow. See what I mean? That comment by James Fox is really, it's really bizarre. It has no place. I know I spent a lot of time. I don't know why I went so much on that. Let me back it up a few seconds so we can refresh our brains after I spoke there.
Something isn't when we don't know what it is. And B, after a careful review of the data, if it's determined that some, underline the word some 10 times, UFOs or UAP originate from a non-human intelligence, what's the plan to disclose that to the public?
And can you identify yourself, please?
James Fox. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
See, look at the Klingon all the way over here. He does not lift his head at all. I am going to write him tomorrow. I'm going to email him. He's on his phone. This is bullshit. I don't mind what this lady did. She cares. This guy doesn't give a shit. Sorry. All right, back to the question. Are you going to be transparent? What are you going to do with evidence if you find it? That was the question.
Sorry, and what outlet?
Independent media. Thank you.
Leader Shermer.
Well, let me repeat.
It's on.
Let me repeat what I said. I think it's important that you hear this word for word.
Yeah, he's got the worst microphone. Whoever set that up didn't test it right. Maybe they did, and he's like, get off of me. It's on. It's good enough. That's probably how it went.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. But
that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. Already, he doesn't know where he is.
We don't know what these UAP are.
That's a dumb thing.
The mission of NASA is to find out the unknown. I've said several times in my comments here today that we, NASA, deal openly and we will be transparent on this. And we're trying to address the question of there's so much concern that there's something locked up, classified, and that the American government is not being open. Well, we are the American government, and we are open, and we're going to be open about this. We don't, again, I'm going to repeat that statement, but we don't know what these UAP are. But we're going to.
That doesn't answer the question at all. But I tell you, it's going to get worse. $20 thrown down by Glenn Croy, everybody. Throwing down a super dono almost near the end of the show. Well, we're going to go a little late tonight, of course, man. Glenn Croy, a continuing supporter of GoofOn, throwing down 20 spots like they're Tic Tacs. Hey. Thanks, Glenn Croy. You're a good person. Thank you. Mucho gusto generoso. Glenn Croy throwing it down with vigor. Go.
I'm going to try to find out.
Thank you very much. And is there a plan in place if it is determined that some of them represent or originate from a non-human intelligence to tell the public? Is there a plan or?
If we are what I said we intend to be, which is transparent, you bet your boots. We will say that. And I've tried to set the table for you by telling you what I personally believe in a universe that is so vast that could there be a replication of life on Earth elsewhere in another solar system that is so big? Of course I believe that. The distances, it would have to be a very advanced civilization. The distances.
Why?
You know, light years.
Why would they have to be? Why can't they just crack that code a lot quicker than we did? Maybe they were a species that was a lot smarter and advanced a lot quicker and got there within years and decades instead of centuries or thousands of years. See, that's scary to have his way of thinking, if you ask me. I don't like that way. That's old school thinking. It needs to be eliminated from the conversation.
Hundreds of light years, billions of light years.
Look, let's say today somebody figured out how to go interstellar in an instant. Anywhere you want to go, you can get there almost instantaneously. Let's say they created that. It could happen, right? It could. There's a small possibility somebody could crack it, figure it out. If it happens within 100 years, wouldn't you agree that that would be awfully quick? No, you wouldn't. It would have taken a couple 100,000 years to get there. We only been technological for the last 100 years. Let's just throw that number out there. Really, it's 110 maybe. I don't know, what, 1908, 1903, 120 years, give or take. Late 1890s, doesn't matter. It's under 150 years, not billions of years, not thousands. So that's what I mean.
But whatever we find, we're going to tell you.
Thank you very much.
Great, and we'll move on to the next question. Please do identify yourself.
And you know what? We'll never know. They'll never, ever be transparent if they found aliens. I guarantee it. There's just no way.
Yourself.
Thanks. This is Joey Roulette from Reuters. Question for Bill Nelson or any of the other panelists. So you've appointed a director of UAP research. Have you named someone to that role? And what kind of investment are you considering making in this? Is this going to be a new program office? Have you thought of funding figures, et cetera? Thanks.
Good question.
Yes, we have. We've already appointed the person. They've been working there for a while now, like during the study to help be a
And who is it?
And we you know, any budget discussions, of course, are part of a very intricate federal budget request, and so they're not something that we discuss openly. But we will certainly look at what resources need to be allocated.
Can you name the official who's in
We
that
will
role?
not give his name out now.
Okay, thanks.
Why? Ask why. Why can't you give their name? What's the big deal? All right, so here's what John Greenwald needs to do. I don't know how to do it. is get a FOIA request on this person. Find out who is doing what. I'll have to go back and you have to word it exactly, what department, what they do, and what we're looking for is their name. If they work for NASA, that should be public record, right? Isn't NASA government funded? NASA's not private, it's government. So it should be public record.
Thank you. We'll take another one from in the room.
Hello, Dan Rivers from British broadcaster ITV News. I heard the word stigma mentioned several times, that you want to remove the stigma. Is your message to pilots and other people that this is no longer the preserve of cranks and that you won't be laughed at and that you will take them seriously? Is that the takeaway?
That is exactly the message. I mean, at NASA, we're scientists. We love data. We love all data. And if there is something that needs to be reported, and we want people to be able to feel that they can report that. We spoke in the open hearing that we had here just a few months ago. Dan, remind me when it was?
May 31st.
May 31st. And we actually talked then about we wanted to remove the stigma, and we also did not tolerate any of the abuse that some of our members of the panel were receiving, particularly on social media, for doing this really important scientific study. So absolutely, we want pilots and both, as Bill said, both private pilots, commercial pilots.
I have never seen any of that evidence. I have never seen any pilots or anybody, David Grush, other whistleblowers being attacked. I haven't seen it. Have you? I mean, I've seen people say stuff about other people, but not directly to them saying, you're a jerk off if you go that, I know we're going to get you. Ooh, that I've never seen it. And I'm on the internet every day. I've never seen or even seen any article that talks about whistleblower getting attacked online. Here's their story. Here's the screenshots. None of that. If it was so GD important, I want to see I want to see that. I know this is NASA. They're going to say they don't get involved with the drama and all that, but they brought it up. And when you bring it up, you need to be transparent with how you got there. And if somebody was to ask the questions, we already know they're not transparent. They won't tell us who that person was when asked. Who is it? Who's working for you? That's no. So they're not going to be transparent. See how easy it was for her to shut that up? No, can't give you the name. Zero transparency. If they were transparent, nothing would be off the table. They're not transparent. But we can't say nothing. There's going to be some. Oh, come on, Rich. We can't tell you everything. Right. National security. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always hiding behind the national security. Well, if I told you, then the world knows a secret that we don't have defenses near Texas. Oh, wait, I just said that out loud. We're so desperate for information that we'll watch something like this. Normally, I wouldn't give a shh.
Military pilots.
As a matter of fact, let's speed up a little.
Bring this approach to this field by saying collect high quality data, understand the normal events, and that's how we move things forward.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the next question, please.
Hello, I'm Nomia Iqbal from BBC News. Just to follow up on the stigma question, UAP, that term has been, used in part to destigmatize UFOs. The fact is, most people use UFOs. Most of the American public, most of the world use that term. So I wonder how much is the stigma still a problem for you, and what are you practically doing to about it, really, to convince people? And my second very quick question. In your report, I noticed that you said AI is a very essential tool for identifying rare occurrences. Yesterday, we were at this big AI summit where you had 100 senators meeting all the big tech tycoons, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. And speaking to some senators afterwards, they said, we are concerned about AI, we need it to be regulated. Does that concern you? Or are you worried that it might hamper your work? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Two big questions. First of all, do I personally believe that AI needs to have some boundaries? The answer to that for our existentialism, yes. Can you do that within the appropriate bounds so that, as I said in my remarks, that we're going to utilize AI as one of the tools as we search for what is an answer to the UAP. And so no, I don't think that any attempts that the Congress has underway to try to write a law that would appropriately put guardrails around AI for other reasons is in any way going to inhibit us from utilizing the tools of AI to help us in our quest on this specific issue. Now, what was your other question?
Just how do you destigmatize the whole thing? Because I know you call it UAPs, but people don't refer it to in that way.
Yeah. Well, there's a mindset. We all are entertained by Indiana Jones in the Amazon and finding the crystal skull. So there's a lot of folklore out there. That's why we entered the stage, the arena, to try to get into this from a science point.
I think you can blame the X-Files for a lot of this as well.
That possibly too, but just remember what I said. We NASA are trying to.
We at NASA, not we NASA. I hate that this old fart dust keeps saying it's the third time he did that. We NASA. It's we at NASA. And same thing, in the same breath, I'll say women and woman. Not just one word, women. If it has to do with a woman, it's woman. You don't say women for woman. I mean, I see that and hear that all the time now, too. What are we doing? We NASA. No, we at NASA. I think he can't open his mouth to say at because his teeth will come flying out or his face will fall off. Something gross will happen. We NASA. We NASA. Woo doggy.
To try to get into this from a science point.
I think you can blame the X-Files for a lot of this as well.
That possibly too, but just remember what I said. We NASA are trying to shift it from sensationalism to science.
Okay, thank you very much.
That is the biggest horseshit answer on the planet. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't do anything. It is what it is. You can't. What are you going to? How are you going to destigmatize something? How will NASA do that? How? Why didn't she follow up with how? Well, we're going to use AI and we're going to use smart people. We're going to use science. I love me NASA. I do. Right to bear arms. Huh? Exactly. Free Willy. What? I don't know, man. Space fakes. Bill Nelson has gone rogue. Ha ha! All right, let's move over to the next one. I'm moving down, moving on up to the end. To the last part of questioning the insane. Oh, it's NASA. They're all quite gay. I mean, happy. All right. I didn't see anybody asking questions over there, but I see Bill moving his mouth, and I don't want to hear Bill move his mouth. His teeth will fall out. We're all going to get injured. All right, let's go.
A lot of questions. I'm going to hope we can stick to sort of one per person and see how many we can get through. So one more from the phone, please.
Okay.
Our next question comes from Jeff Faust with Space News. Your line is open.
Hi. I know the press release states that.
First of all, I just want to say that all these callers who called in were of the flamboyant type. They were. 3 out of the 4 calls. It was like, hey guys, I just have a question about outer space. I just want to know if you're going to really stick it to those aliens. If they get close, are you going to anal probe them, if you know what I mean? Well, hell yeah, we're going to fuck them in the A, man, yeah. Thanks, Bill. I knew you could do it, you big old bear, you. Well, thank you, Twink. I love you. How do you know I was a twink? I can tell by your voice. All right. I had to say it. It's true. 3 out of the 4 calls were a little of the flamboyant type. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's obvious what's going on here.
That NASA is still evaluating the independent study team's report and its recommendations. Does NASA plan to publish a formal response to the report and its recommendations? And if so, what timeline can we expect to see that?
So let me give you a quick preview about how this works. So we have only very, very recently received the report, and what you have seen today in our press release represents our initial actions in recognition of the urgency of this matter. And yes, we will be following up as appropriate with additional actions. But of course, we need additional time to fully ingest the recommendations and act on them in light of budget and many other priorities.
Of course.
But we'll be announcing more in the future.
Oh, good. So you'll never get to it. That's right. So you'll never ever see it. Never see the light of day.
You please back to the room. Identify yourself too, please.
Good morning, Sam Cabral with BBC News Digital. We've been talking a lot about shift from sensationalism to science today. Has NASA been in touch with the Mexican authorities about the rather sensational revelations earlier this week of 2 allegedly non-human
You mean
corpses?
yesterday?
And what, if any, importance do you attach to these discoveries?
I think David had a prep for that one.
Well, this is something that I know I've only seen on Twitter, so it's
All right, never mind.
when we have.
We don't need to hear him. That guy is such a bullshitter. He's not even interested to be there.
Hi, Brandy Vincent from Defense Scoop. Thank you all
Arr.
for this. I actually have 2 lines of questions, if it's okay. First, for Ms. Fox, what's the timeline and immediate actions that NASA is pursuing specifically with Arrow now that the report has been completed? And what mechanisms are NASA and DoD really using to share information and collaborate securely?
I'm sorry, I haven't listened to a word she said. All I see are these big Magoo glasses. I'm like looking at them. I'm like, holy shit, those are some thick ass glasses, right? My God, if she goes outside in the sun and lays backwards with those things on, she's gonna burn her retinas out. She's cute, but I can't stop looking at the glasses. All right, I don't even know if I want to. Do we go back and listen to her again? I don't know what a word she said. All right, I won't even look.
First, for Ms. Fox, What's the timeline and immediate actions that NASA is pursuing specifically with Arrow now that the report has been completed? And what mechanisms are NASA and DoD really using to share information and collaborate securely? And do you see more coming? And then separately, for Mr. Spergel, I noticed in the final report a lot of the images and media that were added were from DoD, snapshots that we'd previously seen from DoD data. Not much from FAA, if anything, not from other agencies. Can you speak to why that is and what all you used beyond DoD to inform your report?
Dr. Fox, Dr. Spergel, I'll pass it to you guys.
Sure. So, yes, our immediate actions, I think there was such a lot in those questions. So the immediate actions, we've established our director of UAP research. They're working across the whole of government. They're working very closely with Arrow. They are the sort of central point for all of the collaboration. I'm not sure what else you asked, I'm sorry.
What mechanisms are you using to share data and information with the Defense Department?
All mechanisms available to us. As Dan eloquently said, all of our data are open and public. So actually, I mean, we share everything.
You know, there's a repeating theme here. I just want to see if this guy's the same.
For a Danish newspaper called Berlingske. My question is for Mr. Nelson. You said at the beginning of the meeting that that NASA will be transparent. Well, a month and a half ago, Mr. David Grush said under oath in Congress that the U.S. government is in possession of UAPs and extraterrestrial life. How can you be sure at NASA?
That's not what he said. Is that what he said? I thought he, I guess, so in other interviews and stuff, yeah.
That other parts of the U.S. government is being transparent.
I don't speak for other parts of the government, but I can tell you NASA, which I speak for, is open and transparent with our data.
Do you believe what Mr. David Grush said, or is he lying?
You would want me to give a personal opinion?
Yes, please.
Of what he said. What he said, if I recall having seen this on the nightly news, was that he had a friend that knew where a warehouse was that had an UFO locked up in a warehouse. He also said he had another friend that said that he had parts of...
All right. So what he just said should really be telling. Did you hear how Bill Nelson watched it? How he heard what David Grush said? He watched the news. He didn't even go and watch. I would have liked to have him said, I did. I watched the entire News Nation interview. I've seen him at the congressional hearings. But he didn't. He didn't say that at all. What he said was, I saw him on the news. He doesn't even do any research himself. Why do you think we don't believe you? Why would we believe you? And I was just saying, there's a theme here with this whole entire NASA setup, this news conference. It's all about them being transparent. That's all they want to say. Hey, I told you, no matter what you say, what questions you have, we will be transparent. I just can't answer that question. They hit you when you least expect it with NASA. We're not going to see NASA make the first alien discovery. It's a joke. That's why I said it's very important to know NASA will make first alien discovery. They should. If they're going to be transparent, they will be the first but they're not going to be transparent because they are NASA. I can't explain it anymore. It's sad. And Bill Nelson is terrible at this, just terrible. He's doing the best he can. I just don't like the way he sounds. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like anything, his persona. I just don't like him. I think he's an evil MFer, if you ask me. I do. I really do. I think he's as corrupt as the administration that's in power now. But that's just my opinion. So tomorrow we'll go over that. We're not going to go over it. We're going to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, you can join me tomorrow and we'll go over. I didn't post the show yet, but we'll go. I already have a thumbnail made up, don't I? I think I started it, but I don't think I finished it. Let's see. Oh, I did finish it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So tomorrow you join me and we will have a good time. We can talk about it. Here it is. See? Tomorrow's show. Already made the thumbnail. I don't know. Did I post it up already? I don't know if I posted it. They cannot get enough about talking about this alien. They just love that alien. That's the fake one right there. It's embarrassing. But we'll be back tomorrow night. I hope you join me tomorrow too. Saturday show, it's ready to go. But anything can happen. So there will be a Saturday show. Oh my God, that's right. It won't be at 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to have to change the time tomorrow. Listen to this. It may be an afternoon show. Like 3 o'clock. I'm not kidding. There'll be a show tomorrow. The time is changing. I'm sorry, Saturday. Tomorrow's at 7. Saturday is not going to be at 7. Because my friend's show is on at 7. And I don't want to, same people that go here, go there. So I don't want to take away from that. I don't have to not go. I can do 7 if I want to. I might. But I think the UFC's on tomorrow. Let's see. Not pay-per-view. Oh my God, last week. That was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. Adesanya got knocked the fudge out. That was unbelievable. Yeah, I don't care. Tomorrow's no big deal. All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Moderators and super chatters, the best on the planet. Seriously, I didn't see anything else come in. Oh, one more came in. Now they're coming in. 722. Okay, Harold. And then $20 from Mr. Wilcox. And that's it. It didn't show up when you guys sent those in. So I'm going to keep that open from now on. Thank you very much. Newcomers and veterans, making the chat room interesting and fun and informative is so appreciated by the newcomers. I appreciate my veterans showing the way. Oh, I want to leave you with one thing. Check out, have you ever heard of Tim Tebow, quarterback? I want to leave you with this. I'm going to show you this and then I'll say the rest of my piece. check this out. I have to show you how interesting life really is.
This is the craziest story ever. So when Tim Tebow was playing for the national championship with the Florida Gators, he put John 3:16 underneath his eyes. Not only did he win that game, 94 million people Googled what John 3:16 was that very day. But the story gets even crazier. 3 years later, to the day, he was playing for the Denver Broncos and had just completed a game against the Steelers, and his PR agent came up to him and said this: "Tim, this is 3 years since you played that game in the national championship and you wore John 3:16 under your eyes. Do you realize what just happened today?" He said that during that game against the Steelers, he threw for 316 yards. But not only that, his yards per rush were 3.16, his yards per completion were 31.6, the time of possession was 31.06, and the ratings for the night were 31.6. Guys, this is a story that only God could write, and if you're stoked on
the power of the mind, the power of the people. If we all can get together every night and do this and have the same mental thoughts, we can change things if we really wanted to. Don't you want to? It's going to take more than 150 people to do it, though. But it does show. And I've done these so many tests with Dark Hour Paranormal, Michael Roser, and we have both confirmed to each other that the law of attraction works. Thoughts can become things, and not just by coincidence, by unimaginable odds. I've proven it to him several times already that it works, and he's proven it to me. But it seems I have this incredible knack of being able to create little things, small things. Like if I was driving down the road and I said, and I imagined, a bird, two birds crashing in front of me, something silly like that, and then I'd see it happen within a minute or 5 minutes. I manifest pretty quickly. I can do that shit. It's weird. I know. Oh, why aren't you a millionaire? Why is your health in? Because you don't do it. Because all day long you're doing it. Your thoughts in your mind are creating the reality around you. So if you're one of these people that thinks everything sucks, everything's going to suck. Your health's going to go down. Your house is going to fall apart. Yeah, that could just be because your attitude sucks. What if your house got struck by lightning and also wound up having an alligator living under it? Those things you just can't prepare for or plan for. So there are strange things happening in this world. John 3:16, Tim Tebow video, it proves it to me that what we can do as people is what separates us from the animals. Brett just threw down $10. Rick, check your email and PayPal. I'll check PayPal itself. But nothing, look, there is PayPal. It didn't even show up. The message. Okay, well, Brett also sent $10 here. Thank you, brother. I mean, unbelievable. And $20 on PayPal. Thank you so much, man. I mean, you didn't have to do that. And he said he's going to give me something on this information about a guy. He says, the old guy you dismissed changed 10 words in the Bible, might be on to something. Sending you an app I use, and then it cuts off. Brett, thank you very much. I'm always up for it. So send it away. I'll try anything once. Maybe twice. Thanks for the super chat. Right at the end. That gush. All over the world. And remember, we do it here and only here. Does everybody know? You guys know. It's Truthology. Truthology for ufology for you. All right, have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe, be blessed. Be happy. Let's change it up. I know I never really enjoyed that one. Have a great rest of your night and be good to yourself. Alien bless.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Control life. Warning. Warning. Failure. Control life.